There are a lot of wrong guys out there. Guys who play women, get those women hooked on them, but they have no intention of actually committing to her or taking her seriously. But believe it or not, there are actually a lot of good guys out there too. The guy who wants to treat you with love and respect. The guy who's ready to invite a woman into his life where he can provide a frame for her feminine to manifest. A strong masculine man with principles, morals, and standards for his relationship. But often, the reason a woman will find herself never seeming to come across this kind of guy is because the wrong kind of guy occupies that space in her life. She keeps attracting that wrong guy into that spot. Well, if you find that that's you, then we're going to sort that out right now. We're going to go through 4 reasons why you keep attracting the wrong kind of guy into that spot in your life. So you can start allowing the space for the right guy to take that spot. And these particular reasons we're about to go through, these are the most common reasons why women find themselves attracting the narcissist, the douchebag, the guys who are fuckboys, the guys who are players, the guys who will accept all the investment from her but never reciprocates in return. So the first reason why you might keep attracting the wrong kind of guy is that you lead with your masculine. I get that as a modern day woman, you want to show that you can stand on your own 2 feet, and that's great. However, these are modern times, so standing on your own 2 feet is kind of just part of being an adult. Now, if you are the kind of woman who has a successful career, you've worked very hard, you've worked very diligently, you've invested a lot of time and effort into building yourself into who you are today, I completely understand that that is something you take pride in, and you absolutely should. However, when you're dating with men, especially if you're wanting to attract a masculine man to you, leading with the "I'm the independent boss babe" energy, that is only going to repel that man's romantic energy from you. You may get his professional energy, but his romantic energy is repelled by that. One thing that I see many women making the mistake on, and it's partly no fault of their own because the narrative and media doesn't really help guide women in the right direction into, attracting the kind of guy that they want. But one thing I see many women fall into the trap of is leading with their achievements and their accolades when they're dating men. And while it's a very good thing to have these things and demonstrate these things for your respectability, as a professional, that is only going to attract feminine men to you because it is the masculine side that has that ambition, has that direction, has that sense of competition, wanting to succeed. But if you're wanting that man of masculinity, it's you demonstrating those feminine sides of you that's going to attract him. How kind are you? How generous can you be? How warm are you to be around? This will attract a great leader into your life. And if you aren't quite sure whether you are leading with your masculine or feminine right now, the easiest way to tell is if you are attracting the kind of guys who aren't really on their purpose. They don't really have their shit together. They look to you for leadership. They look for you to make a plan. They look to you to guide them. Whereas maybe you feel that you actually want those leadership qualities in him. And that's how you know if you are leading with that masculine. The next reason why you are attracting the wrong guys is that you choose primarily on looks. You basically choose the most attractive guy out of all your options to invest in, to invest your all in. Now, don't get me wrong. Being attractive or being attracted to the person is important. No one's disputing that. But it's also good to remember that the better his personality, the better and more you connect with him and build that connection, then naturally the more physically attracted you are going to be to him also. Which means that this should definitely expand your eligible options, because you don't have to look at a guy straight away and be, wow, I want to rip his clothes off. Because ultimately, it's not what a guy looks like that most builds the chemistry, but it's ultimately his personality and his energy that is what's most important for attraction. When you are choosing guys purely on looks, I promise you that the most attractive guy is the guy who has the most optionality, i.e., he has many girls as options to him. And unless he's at a point where he's ready to settle down, he's ready to have kids, ready to get married, ready to start building a life with someone, he is not going to be looking for anything serious. The likelihood of him looking for something serious is very, very small. And this is what happens when you get into a situation with a really attractive guy and you're having sex with him, you're being intimate with him, but for some reason, it just doesn't go anywhere. And then you find out that he's been dating other girls. He's been sleeping with other girls. When for you, you've only been intimate with him. You're not looking to be sleeping with multiple people. And he's just not at a point where he's ready to reciprocate that level of commitment. So if you're choosing a guy purely based on looks, purely based on banter, and that is a very dangerous combination. Great looks plus great banter equals insane chemistry. But when we're looking for a serious partner, we have to have more emphasis and start prioritizing qualities for companionship. And those are qualities that we can really overlook in someone because we're distracted by someone else who looks really good. Next reason why you keep attracting the wrong guys is that you lead with sexuality. These are the kind of girls who always present themselves in a very sexually provocative way or having very provocative photos online. The energy you put out is the energy you're going to receive back. So if you are putting out a sexually provocative energy, when you go out into the world, that is naturally going to attract sexual energy back towards you. Now, if you're in a place in yourself where that's what you want, then great, you're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be very easy getting what you want. But if you're looking for that relationship energy, that romantic intention, as opposed to just that sexual attention, then we have to understand the laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe stipulate that the energy we give out to it is the same it will give back to us. Because here's the thing. I get that it's easy to think, oh, well, it doesn't matter if I just put out sexual energy because a good guy won't just see me as a sexual option regardless. And that's not true. Whether a guy is good or bad isn't about whether he's just looking for sex. It's about whether he's honest and integral about his intentions. Because there are plenty of great guys who are just looking for something casual. But the difference is they won't deceive or lie to you about it. They'll just be very honest because they don't want to hurt you, and if they're going to get involved with you, they want to make sure that you're both on the same page. But when you're just putting out a sexual kind of energy, even the good guy who could be open to something serious is only going to give that back to you. Which means even from the bad and good guys, you are only getting one type of attention. So if you find this is the experience that you're having, then change the energy that you're putting out, and I promise you, you will start to notice a difference. The next reason why you may be attracting the wrong guy is that you are choosing purely based on money. Now I get it. It is very attractive when a guy can provide a certain lifestyle. It is very attractive when a guy is super successful and he has all these lavish things, he has very good materialistic things, and especially if you're the kind of woman who likes the nicer, finer things in life. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're choosing purely based on money, if the reason you're choosing the guy out of all your options is because he seems to have the most financials, this is always going to come round to bite you. There are two stereotypical archetypes with men who lead with their money. The first type is that he has nothing else to offer. This is the kind of guy who is used to using money to get access to women, especially very attractive women. He's never really had to have anything else to offer. The money he has is the power he's used to get what he wants most of the time. So they often tend to have not developed their emotional intelligence. They tend to have not developed their character. Their morals or principles may not be as strong because he's always used money to get what he wants, whether he's good or bad. You know what they say? If you want to test a man's character, you give him power. He's less likely to be funny. He's less likely to be open to having emotional depth. It's very much what you see is what you get with that kind of guy. And the second typical archetype of the guy who leads with money is the guy who is very controlling. Guys who very much lead with their money expect a woman to slot into his box of life very specifically, exactly how he wants her to be. This is the kind of guy who will buy you clothes, but will tell you what you can and can't wear, who will say yes to the bag that you want, but will say no to you going out with your friends. And there's no room for negotiation with this man. Because you may have all the money, but if you are completely and utterly reliant on this man, because you may have prioritized money over character, then he has all the power within the relationship, in which his character will dominate. Now, of course, if a guy does have success, if a guy is ambitious and he is on his purpose and he has stuff going on, this is a good thing. But I'm talking about if you're just choosing based on money. Because the kind of woman who purely chooses based on money often ends up with the guy who only ever leads with money. It's a match made in hell. And besides, we know it takes more than just money to have a future with someone. If you're ready to attract the kind of guy you want into your life, then enroll in my Claim Your Man program below where I show you how to do that. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep it slick.